So I thought I'd just say a few things that I wish I knew when I first started filming weddings. The first one is that if you go to a venue for the first time and then you ask someone a question, like, for example, if it's a boudoir and you say, is this the room that this couple's getting married in? And they say, yep. Yeah, definitely get a second opinion if you can, just because a lot of people, especially in certain different cultures, I won't name them, they like to say yes just because they don't want to say no, and they think it's been a lot of people think it's polite to give an answer, and I've had that happen before where I asked someone very confidently, he said to me, "Yep, that's the room," and then he had no idea what he's talking about, so I started filming the wrong room. Yeah. Another one is that audio guys, they've obviously got an important job to do. If there's no audio on the day, then they screw things up for people, which is why they usually like to get their stuff sorted first and then come to you. Fair enough. But for example, on a wedding yesterday, I did a Jewish wedding. I went outside to set up the audio, said, "Oh, can I plug in my main? Is it okay if I plug in? If you plug me in?" And then he said, "Oh, well, there's no point in you plugging in if there's no PA system at all, so come back later." I was like, okay, cool, don't want to get on the wrong side of him. He said it nicely and stuff. And then I had to film one thing after the next thing, then after the next thing, and I was a solo shooter. And then when it came to the actual ceremony, because I had no space in between, it was nowhere to be found. So I had no mains. So luckily I had an on-camera mic, and more importantly, I had a TX650 in this little case and stuck it into the groom's pocket. So I had good audio of him and him and the wife. And then because there was a few different mics, I had to make sure that when the singer at the back of the hall at the back of the venue comes with the official mic, that I grab him. I get one of these TX650s that's already pressed on record. Got one of these things from Daniel Armitage in the case. Stick it onto the mic like that, and then start to intercept him, and then put this on, and then give it to the rabbi, and then yeah, that worked well, and the audio sounds amazing from it. The moral of that story is with audio guys, have had them almost screw up the audio for me a few times, so I have to say to them, actually, listen, I'm very sorry, I know you're doing your job, but I need to do this now. Just plug it in, and then at least we can sort out later. I just want it in for now. So yeah. So obviously audio is super important. That's why I've got a Rode Video Mic Pro on my camera. It turns on automatically. So it when you plug it into the camera, and your camera turns on, so you don't have to worry about switching it on like you used to do a few years ago. I've got 3 TX650s that I keep on me at all times. You can even, if you're in a rush, you can just go like this, and then it's on, or on the other side, which would be better. Yep, I can barely see that. And then I also clamp a Zoom H6 to the speaker, so I've got ambient. So if the audio distorts for whatever reason, you've got this. And then on top of that, which is my favorite device now, it's the Zoom F6. So it runs off Sony MPF batteries and also 2 AA batteries, and you can also put external power battery inside it as well. Just using my Rode Link Pros on this particular shoot because it's easier to do. But this thing is pretty much almost impossible to peak, and I've got to tell my clients that if it is saying that it's peaking, just bring it down -12. If it's still saying that it's peaking, bring it down -12, -12, keep going until it sounds normal. But yeah, it's a really good device, and also 6 XLR inputs, which is wicked. Another thing I should say about the Zoom H6 is that you do need to get an external power bank for it, even though it does have 4 AA batteries in. You do need to put external power in, otherwise it's just going to die on you. And some people ask me to bring wireless mics, and I always say no. So it's these, I've got 4 of these Rode Filmmaker Kit Pros or something like that. But these are just for corporate shoots. The reason being is because the reason that I don't use it is because they've got a power option, which after like 5 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes of the receiver and the transmitter being disconnected, they sort of desync. So basically what would happen if you mic up the groomsman or whoever's giving a speech, and then you're busy running around setting up tripods and they leave the room for 10 minutes to go to the toilet or something, then the connection's lost and you can't just go up there last minute to turn on the, whatever. But with mics like these, they last for 14 hours, the battery's really good, you know where you stand with them and stuff like that. With me as well, unless I'm having a really bad day, like yesterday when the audio guys didn't sort my audio out for me. It's really important to obviously smile and stuff. So I used to drink a lot of coffee and energy drinks, but now it's just like talking to the guests, smiling with the guests, and if you've got a demand, if you've got like a request for someone to do something and you really do need it, you need to ask politely and stuff like that. Because there's some shooters who I work with, lovely guys, do an amazing job, but I will never hire them because of the way they speak to other vendors and the way that they speak to the couple, even though some of these guys are a lot better than me, some of them, and it's, at the end of the day, it's a relationship business, isn't it? So yeah, I mostly shoot on primes, the lower the better. I used to shoot on the Sigma 35 and 85 f1.4s. To give me a really good look, give me nice manual focus. It was nice and sharp, gave me a good image. But then I started swapping to Sony and Zeiss primes with autofocus, and something about having native lenses is just amazing, and the autofocus certainly is amazing. I'm still coming to terms with if someone walks in front of the camera or something like that, then the autofocus is lost, which is initially why I didn't buy them when they first came out, but they're really good. I've also stopped using my humongous Production Manager 40 bag, which carried all my lights, audio stuff, lenses and stuff like that. It was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be when I first ordered it, because I ordered it online. But obviously bringing it into people's houses, it was messing up my back and stuff, so I just got a smaller think tank bag, the small airport ones, version 3, and it does the job. It means I take less equipment, which means I can focus on the creativity more, and that's really helped me as well. So yeah, another super important thing that I wish I did when I first started out was labelled my cards and batteries and as much equipment as possible, because the amount of cards that I stopped getting back was ridiculous. So yeah, and then I always give them to the client with a plastic case, and label the plastic case as well. And I also don't provide hard drives I provide hard drives without the cable, because the cable keeps going missing as well every time. That sucks.